state the rules here in the webinar. First, you need to turn on your cameras, please, and mute yourself. And you have to use the virtual background that we have provided. Also, if you have any questions, you can type the questions in the chat box with the format to whom you're asking and the question itself. Also, you need to rename yourself with the format your full name _ your institution. Thank you. Now, my name is Muhammad Balian Fauzan from Management Major of 2021 of Rio University. I am serving here as the master ceremony of this webinar with the theme Unearthing and Cultivating Yourself by Participating in MUN. Now, I would like to give a big thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given us the health and the chance to gather here today. Also, I would like to send salawat and salam to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam by saying Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome our Honorable Third Vice Dean of Economic and Business Faculty of Rio University, Dr. Denny Setiawan. Welcome to the Honorable Student Governor of Economic and Business Faculty, Yudhitya Wahyu Perdana. Welcome to the Honorable Chairman and Vice Chairman of EFEC of 2022 and 2023, Muhammad Azan Ramadan and Felinda Andini. Welcome to the Honorable Representative of the Organization of the Economic and Business Faculty of Rio University. Also, welcome to our amazing speakers today, Brother Ardian, Iris Kang, and Jumaika Revas. And last but not least, please welcome to all the honorable participants who has joined us in this event today. Now, our next agenda is Singing Indonesia Raya and Mars Mahasiswa.
Indonesia tanah air kalian yang rindu kemenangan, wahai kalian yang turun ke jalan demi mempersembahkan jiwa dan raga untuk negeri tercinta. Wahai kalian yang rindu kemenangan, wahai kalian yang turun ke jalan demi mempersembahkan jiwa dan raga untuk negeri tercinta. Kejayaan kepada rakyat yang kebingungan di persimpangan jalan, kepada pewaris peradaban yang telah menggoreskan sebuah catatan kebanggaan di lembar sejarah manusia. Wahai kalian yang rindu kemenangan, wahai kalian yang turun ke jalan demi mempersembahkan jiwa dan raga untuk negeri tercinta. Wahai kalian yang rindu kemenangan, wahai kalian yang turun ke jalan demi mempersembahkan jiwa dan raga untuk negeri tercinta. Untuk
Okay. Now, with that, the next agenda is welcoming speech. Now, the first welcoming speech is from Tamara Geraldina as the Chief of Committee. Tamara, time is yours.
Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable, our third Vice Dean of Economics and Business Faculty, Dr. Denny Setiawan. The Honorable Student Governor of Economics and Business Faculty, Brother Yuditya Wahyu Perdana. The Honorable Representative of Organizations in Economic and Business Faculty, Riau University. The Honorable Chairman and Vice Chairman of Economic Faculty English Club, or EVEC, 2022-2023 periods, Brother Muhammad Azan Ramadan and Sister Felinda Andini. And the Honorable, our amazing speakers for today's event, Brother Ardian, Sister Iriska, and Sister Jamaica Rivas. Hello, good morning all. My name is Tamara Geraldina Priscilia. You can call me Tamara. I'm a student from University of Riau, majoring in Management 2021. For this opportunity, I was entrusted to being the Chief Executive of our MUN webinar with the theme Unearthing and Cultivating Yourself by Participating in the MUN. Maybe I want to tell a little bit story. It was a really big challenge for me and also for all of the committees because we just got the announcement for this webinar for like a week ago, and it was a very short time, right? But thanks to God for his blessing, for the strength that he gave to us, and also for all the hard work that my team, my cool committees that put in this webinar so we can get to this point. Until when the link registration was closed, we managed to get more than 119 participants. And it's not only from Indonesia, but there are also participants that came from outside of Indonesia. So maybe we can call that this is an international webinar, right? And whatever the thing that you want to see from this webinar, I hope that you can get it until this end of this webinar, and make sure that you are active, guys, because we already prepared so many door prize for you all. I think that's all from me. Enjoy the webinar and thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tamara. Now, the next welcoming speech is by the chairman of our Economic Faculty English Club, Azan Ramadan. Azan, time is yours.
Is my voice clear enough?
Yes, Azan.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Muhammad Azan Ramadan. I'm majoring accounting in University of Riau, and I'm a chairman of Economic Faculty English Club, or for short, you all can call it EFAC. First of all, I would like to thanks to God for His grace that we were able to carry out this event well. Then, I would like to say welcome to the Honorable Third Vice Dean of Faculty Economics and Business, Mr. Denny Setiawan SAMEC, and welcome to the Honorable Student Governor, Yudhitya Wahyu Perdana. Welcome to the Honorable Leader of other institution in Economic and Business Faculty Riau University, and welcome to the Honorable Speaker, Ardian, Iris Kang, and Jomaika. And last but not least, welcome to the all participants who already attend this webinar. As you know, MUN is a simulation event at the UN conference, where participants can get experience what happened during the UN conference. In MUN, there are many councils like UNICEF, IMF, or UNESCO. So in this seminar, FX and FAB MUN have present speakers who are experienced in the MUN field. And I hope after you all participating in this webinar, you all can gain useful knowledge about MUN. I think that's all from me. Thank you for your attention and good morning.
Okay, thank you very much, Azan. Now, the next welcoming speech is from our Honorable Student Governor of the Economics and Business Faculty of Riau University, Yudhitya Wahyu Perdana. Yudhitya, time is yours.
Okay, guys, wait a second. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya wal mursalin, Sayyidina wa maulana Muhammadin, wa ala alihi washabihi rasulillahi ajmain. Amma ba'd. First of all, let me say Alhamdulillah to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given us blessing and chance. So today we can join this big event in healthy and in big spirit. And don't forget to say salawat to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam by saying Allahumma sholli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. The Honorable, the third Vice Dean, Mr. Dr. Dennis Setiawan SAMEC, my Honorable, the Chairman of EFEC, my bro Azan, and the Honorable, our speaker for today has arrived with us, bro Ardian, sis Iriska, and Jamaica. Today we held this big event in order to increase our skill, guys, and talent to speak English as well as we can. I appreciate this thing And big thanks to all of the committee that always do a hard work to prepare this event as far as they can. It's so wonderful. And next, special thanks for Ivek for planning this great event in this morning. Guys, now English not just a foreign language anymore, but it has become need for us now. And today, we held an event according with MUN. The Model United Nations is a series of programs run through the country and the world with the goals of furthering understanding about the United Nations, or we call UN, educating participants about world issues, and promoting peace and the work of the United Nations through cooperation and diplomacy. And don't forget, guys, we just prepare ourselves to being a part of the agent of change. Last year, our country is busy with the topic of recovery in economic, healthy, finance, and etc. This year, we will attend a great new historical of Indonesia. We as the host of big event. What is this? G20, guys. Mr. Jokowi prepared all of this with another 19 countries from all of the world to be united in order to repair our economy. Uh, it's the time for us as a student to take a part. What you can give to them, all you all of you who knows it. So please join this discussion until the end and take the responsibility as a civilian. Thank you so much for inviting me. Please enjoy this webinar and stay safe for all of you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now, thank you, Ditya. Okay, now for the last speech, but not the least one, is from our beloved third Vice Dean of the Economics and Business Faculty of the University, Dr. Denny Setiawan. Please welcome Dr. Denny Setiawan.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, on behalf of third Vice Dean of Economic and Business Faculty, University of Riau, I would like to express my gratitude to the Economics Faculty English Club, or EVEC, for providing in this credible webinar today. And secondly, I would like to say thanks for you everyone who involved in this webinar, including organizer, speaker, and participant. Thanks for you being here and highly appreciate the willingness to join our event. And lastly, I hope this event will broaden your knowledge about MUN, expand your connection, and exchange your English skill. And kindly paying for your attention in this event. Thanks you for attention, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Now, thank you very much for Dr. Denny Setiawan. And now, that is all for me. Now our moderator will lead this event. Now let us welcome our moderator, Sari Ramadhani. Sari, time is yours.
All right, thank you, Balian, for letting me to be the moderator for this event. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Good morning, everyone. How are you guys today? I hope all of you in good condition. All right, as what MC said, my name is Sarah Ramadhani from Accounting 2021, University of Riau, and I will lead the discussion with our three amazing speakers today. I'd like to say welcome to all the participants, and I'd like to remind you to follow till the end of the event because we will meet three amazing speakers today. And at the end of our discussion, we will having ice breaking. And of course, there are so many prizes for the winner. All right, before we go to the main event, I'd like to share you the CV of our first speakers today. So our first speaker is Bro Ardian. So Bro Ardian, born and raised in Indonesia, he is an economics student and specializing in monetary and international economy at University of Riau, and majoring business administration at Mingchi University of Technology, Taiwan. He has passion and interest in global perspective, foreign language, economics, and finance. He has so many MUN experiences, and MUN has obviously given him good impact and several benefits. For instance, he is able to improve his language skill, expand his connection, broaden his knowledge, enhance his public speaking, polish his debate skill, and so on. All right, after we saw his CV, we are curious about him, right? So let's directly say hello with Bro Ardian. Hello, Bro Ardian.
Hi,
How are you today?
I'm pretty well. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Yes, I'm great.
Cool.
Are you ready to share your
Yes, I am.
experience? Of course, your knowledge with us.
Sure.
All right, because Bro Ardian is already here. Before he give us the material, I'd like to tell you some rule. So for everyone who want to ask a question, please just type in the chat box as what format, as the same format as what operator type in the chat box. And so for making short our time, here we present you Bro Ardian. For Bro Ardian, floor is yours.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the recognitions and thank you so much for the floor. First of all, could you do me a favor in terms of sharing your screen? All right. I hope that my voice is perfectly clear, just so everyone in here enables to listen my voice. All right. First thing first, I would like to express my gratitude to the Secretariat of Economics Faculty English Club, or IFAC, for inviting me as one of the speakers in here, and also for providing this event. I hope that this event is going to be full and also impactful for all the participants in here. And second, I would like to also express my gratitude to the committees of this webinar. I hope that this webinar also enhance your skills in terms of managing some events and providing this event as well. And I know that, and also I acknowledge that you're currently doing your best for providing and managing this event. And last but not least, I would like to say a big thanks and a massive thanks to the participants who are already attending in our webinar. I hope that the things that you would like to obtain in here, you can achieve it later on. Well, without any further ado, let's get to the list. And I know this is not an easy decision that you made to devoting your time for attending this webinar, because today is Sunday, right? So I think instead of enjoying your holiday, that you decided to join our webinar. I think this is going to be a good time for you to broaden your knowledge and also expand your connection in here. All right, I will be proceeding to the next slide about the tablet content. So in today's presentation, I'll be talking about the 5 things. The first one is about introduction of myself, and the second one would be MUN, its benefit I acquired, and the third one would be my experiences in MUN. Next slide would be challenges, and last but not least, how did I overcome all challenges I encounter. So next slide, please. So first and foremost, I will introduce myself again. So my name is Ardian. So I'm from economics department from Universitas Riau. My specialization in my department is international economy and monetary economy. So I raised and born in Indonesia, and I aspire to be like Sri Mulyani and also Christian Lagarde. I think you know both people. Sri Mulyani is our current Minister of Finance, and Christine Lagarde would be the current Managing Director of the IMF, if I'm mistaken. And I am the President of MUN and the Secretary General of MUN, as you know already, as been mentioned by the MC and also the moderator. So basically, this webinar is in collaboration with the MUN, and also I am the Secretary General of MUN. So basically, FEB UNRI is a abbreviation for Facultas Ekonomi and then Business Universitas Riau. In English, will be Economics and Business Faculty Universitas Riau MUN. And then I frequently participate in MUN. However, currently I will no longer in the MUN because of my personal assignments and personal business. So that's why I am currently joining MUN, not really a lot, because I used to join MUN a lot. And also another hobbies of mine will be listening music and also for sure watch TEDx video. I think the reason why I loved a lot about it, watching TEDx videos, because I can strengthens my listening skill and also broaden my knowledge in terms of things that I would like to love a lot in there, because I frequently watch the videos about the marketing and also marketing communication, so on and so forth, that will closely relate to my departments, both in my university in Indonesia and also in Taiwan. Next slide, please. All right, if we're talking about my organization, so currently I have 3 organizations in here. So first thing first, about the little MUN, this is going to be my MUN. I founded this MUN along with my friends in 2020, if I'm mistaken. And so right now we almost have 3 conference done, and also we have a little media, and last but not least we have FEB UNRI MUN. So basically this is also international MUN that was founded by me, and also we have already done with second international conferences. Next slide, please. And I am Secretary General in there until next time. So okay, let's jump our main session here. Let's be talking about the MUN and its benefit I acquire. So I think for those of you who have already known and also joined MUN so a lot, I think you have already known right about the definition about MUN and also what is MUN exactly. So MUN stands for Model United Nations, or in bahasa would be PBB, or Persatuan Bangsa-Bangsa. So MUN is an academic simulation of the United Nations conference, which is standard by the students, and they will be serving as the representative of each country, and they will be talking about the international issue. In terms of international issue in here, so basically, United Nations has its UN bodies and also UN several like specialized bodies like that. For example, like ICASA, IMF, and so on and so forth. So in terms of international issues in here, then we will be talking about the specific or prominent international issue each UN body. For example, if you are in the IMF, then for sure you will be talking and discussing about international issue that related to the monetary stuff and financial stuff for global economic like that. All right, next slide, please. For the benefits, the first about, does anyone guess what it is? Okay, so basically this is our leadership or public speaking. So basically, the benefits I acquire by joining MUN a lot is about public speaking. So the reason why public speaking, I think that I personally acknowledge that. I personally think that public speaking is considerably important in our life, especially for the students, right? Because when you are attending your class, then your professor or your lecturer or your teachers and so forth ask you about the questions, then you may raise your hands if you have a good a good like public speaking and a good leadership like that. So by joining MUN, and then you will be gaining about the leadership, about the public speaking, and so on and so forth. So in terms of public speaking, by mastering public speaking, I think it's going to be a good things for you, especially in mastering crowded people, and also you can lead your team. I think the things that I feel that is going to be my benefit in here about in terms of leadership, not leadership, but public speaking. I think whenever I express my thoughts, I think it's going to be smooth, and there's no any obstacles and there's no any hurdles I encounter whenever I express my thoughts regarding the topic that I would like to share. Next slide, please. Okay, next slide is about confidence. I think everyone knows about confidence. Yes, confidence is not really easy to be taken. It's not really easy to be implemented. However, since you join MUN a lot, I think you will be able to increase your self-confidence. I think self-confidence is also considerably important as well. And also, this is going to be skill that we have to have. Then this is like the benefits that you will acquire after joining MUN. Self-confidence. I think I personally say that, and also acknowledge if MUN is the best place for you in terms of learning and also speaking up all of those things about international issue, and also to learn about English, especially for the listenings and also reading. I think all those skills in English would be increased by joining MUN. So one of the benefits I acquire by joining MUN is self-confidence. So that's why I currently confident, right? So next slide, please. Okay, next slide. I think this is going to be the most important one about brainstorming. So brainstorming refers to the ability to share your knowledge or share your thoughts without any script like that. So you are able to share, you are able to express anything in your mind without any script before, and also you are able to explore and unearth anything pertaining to the related or specific topic without any preparation. I think that's all. I think about the brainstorming like that. So the reason why brainstorming that you will acquire it here, because in the MUN, so basically the MUN, a lot of like stages in there, like there's a moderated caucus, unmoderated caucus, and so on and so forth. And then if you have no any ideas about what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to speak, I think the skill will also important for you to have. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, another benefit that you will acquire by joining MUN is connection. So that's why have been mentioned by the moderator about the benefits I I obtained by joining MUN is about expand my connection. So currently I have a lot of I acknowledge that I have a lot of friends from abroad, especially for the international friends, or even most of them are basically from Central Asia, because I used to frequently join MUN a lot in Central Asia MUN. So that's why right now, yeah, I'm a little bit able to speak Russian a little bit, and also I have a lot of friends in there. So that's why I have to say that MUN is really important for you, especially to expand your connection. For example, you can also get to know about iris, you can get to know about DOMs in here. So I think this is going to be a simple example for you about the benefits at the glimpse. Next slide, please. Okay, next slide. I think this is one of the most important as well about the English, right? So first and foremost, I think as an Indonesian people, I have to acknowledge that Indonesia is not an English-speaking country, right? Everyone speaks Bahasa in here, and also we are surrounded by many Indonesian people in here who don't speak English well, like in here. So instead of taking course, I highly recommend you to join MUN because I did, right. I think before and after joining MUN, there's several and also significant impact on my English, especially for the speaking and also my listening, and overall all of the skills in the English. In terms of English, so basically MUN has its own official language. So official language in MUN is English, right? So in here, so you'll be able to learn about English and also express your thoughts in English. So there is no any rules, there is no any uh comment or something kind of like that that also will curb your eager to learn about English in here. So the things that I would like to address in here is about grammar. I think you are afraid of grammar, right? I think uh most of the time I join MUN, so I think they are not really good at grammar. However, they are good at delivering their thought or their speech or their topics or their materials by a good way. So I think instead of worrying about the grammar, that I have to worry about your confidence and also your willingness to speak in English in here. So for those of you, if you are eager to learn and also eager to increase or even enhance your skills in English skill, I think I highly recommend you to join MUN because a lot of benefits you will acquire by joining MUN in terms of English skills like that. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, this is another benefits I acquire. Also, I was invited by my friends from Uzbekistan to be one of the keynote speakers, and also the things because I think I was genuinely grateful back then because I was in this same table with the professor in there to talk about business and also entrepreneur, if I'm mistaken. Yeah. When I was in there, I was talking about how does economic influence the business stuff, and also how does economic terms are now enables to like influence like the business currently, especially after the trade war between America and also Russia. No, America and China. Okay, next slide, please. All right, this is another benefits. I also was invited by this organization as well, and also back then I was considered this occasion going to be my first uh, event that was conducted in person instead of virtually. However, yes, even though I have to say that at first when the first time I was expressing my thoughts and my materials in there, it was going to be my first time ever in speaking English full at that moment. So this is going to be the benefits I acquire. Then you will be invited by a lot of organizations, perhaps both international and national, to uh, share your knowledge, your experiences, your everything that related to your personality. Next slide, please. Okay, next slide is about another benefit as well. I was invited by this organization as well about a webinar enhance your English quality. So I was talking about how do we increase our skill, how do we enhance our English in here. So the first and foremost, the things that I would like to express in here in terms of English, no matter regardless of your level in English, I think just speak up, and then it will also help your uh, capability and abilities to speak in here. Yeah, that's all. Next slide, please. Okay, another experience. Okay, next part would be my experience. So this is gonna be my experience. I think you know about the Asia Youth International MUN conference, right? This is gonna be one of the prestigious MUNs from Indonesia. So also I was not invited. I was part of this MUN to be the board of directors. So basically, the MUN, we have several people that involved in the MUN. We have board of directors, we have delegates, and we have committee. So in terms of board of directors or BOD, we have chairpersons, like the head chairpersons, and co-chairperson, and also the rapporteur. So the chairperson would be the one who will lead, who will preside the discussion, and co-chairperson would be the person who will back up the chairperson or the co-chair, the head chairperson, and the rapporteur would be the one who will maintain and manage about the share screen. Next slide, please. Okay, this is I think this was gonna be my first MUN ever. Yeah, my first MUN ever was MUN, yeah, Youth International Students MUN. So basically this is an American MUN, and also this is founded by American students. I think the founder of this MUN is currently becoming a Harvard student, if I'm mistaken. So at first, after when the first time I joined MUN, I think it was really hard. It was considerably hard because when the first time I joined MUN, I mentioned previously about after and before I joined MUN, there are so many benefits I acquire, especially in terms of language, in terms of English, especially. So when the first time I joined MUN, I think it was really hard because I didn't really have a good English, especially for the listening skill and also for the speaking skill. So I think when the first time I joined MUN, I feel like, oh, I was currently watching like television or like the English news and so on and so forth. So I feel like, okay, but however, I never give up. I always join MUN a lot. I never give up. I learn English, I learn anything from that moment. So right now, those things have already shaped me like who I am today. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, this is gonna be one of the experiences of mine in Central Asia MUN. So this was organized by Alpha Arabic Kazakh National University 2021. For the MUN would be Newsec MUN. So yeah, back then I was totally remember about the first time I was learning about Russian. So like there is several benefits that you will obtain by joining MUN, especially outside the English country, especially in Central Asia, right? So basically, Central Asia, most of the countries in there are speaking in three languages. Like the first one is English, and also Russian, and also their own mother tongue. For example, like Uzbekistan, they will be able to speak Uzbek, and then so on and so forth. So the first time back then, I was learning about Russian a little bit, and so on and so forth. So I think it was gonna be my amazing moments back then. So yeah, so that's why I have a crush on MB1 a lot. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, another experience. It was gonna be my first time in presiding or leading the MUN because I was appointed by the Sustainable Development Goals 2021 from Uzbekistan to be the chairpersons of the UNGA, if I'm mistaken. Yes, at that time, and also after we adjourned the meeting of the MUN, and also we were talking and discussing about the international issue, especially in Russian. Though I think it was going to be hard for me because as a novice and as a not beginner in Russian, I think it was really hard to follow their discussion. However, nevertheless, I understood about the current state of mind regarding the Russian. So they taught me about the Russian a little bit, and also we're talking about anything that related to the Central Asia. So I think one of the most experienced moment in the MUN is in the Central Asia MUN. I don't know because I think they are so really open-minded and also they are so really kind for me. I think because of I don't know the current state of affairs at that time. I think yeah, uh The things that I would like to share with you in here about the MUN Central Asia is about the people. I think, yeah, they are really good one, and also their English so good, and also they are so kind, and also when the first time, like the first impressions I met them are so really amazing. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, another experience. I think this is the same one. With the experience I already mentioned. Yeah, next slide, please. Okay, next slide, please. Well, I will be proceeding to the challenges. I think this is going to be a common challenges for us, especially in terms of English, right? As I mentioned previously in the very beginning of my experience in joining MUN about the English, so right. So well before and after joining MUN, I think there's significant impact by joining MUN. I think I have increased my English ability, especially in speaking and so on and so forth. So the first time, yeah, I think it's really hard. However, yeah, I acknowledge that English is one of the international languages that have been uh, admitted and also acknowledged by the UN. So I think this is going to be a good time for you to learn about English, and I think by mastering English, then you will be sufficiently open-minded, and also you'll be sufficiently aware about international issue. And I think a lot of benefits that you will acquire by joining MUN is about English, and also English skills will also help you to join a lot of programs. So currently we have a lot of programs that is provided by our ministry, yeah, education and higher education ministry like ISMA. I think you know about ISMA, and also another program that I related to and also require about the English skills. So for those of you, if you are eager to learn about English, if you want to learn about anything that closely relate to the English skill, I think I highly recommend you, and also I highly encourage you to join MUN because it's gonna be free. Yeah, yeah. Even though there are several MUN that you have to pay first before you becoming a delegate. However, there are so many MUNs for free. Uh, Next slide, please. Another challenges I encounter in the MUN. Next slide is about substantial. So basically, substantial refers to the understanding about the MUN. What is MUN exactly? How does MUN look like? How does MUN go? How does MUN do like that? So I think in order to overcome these things, that you have to join MUN first. Even though your first time was really hard, however, it will help you to increase your understanding and also your knowledge about the MUN. So basically, as I mentioned previously, also MUN has a lot of stages that you have to do before at the end of the conference or during the meeting. So there are so many terms that you have to know. Then just about a substantial MUN. So I think for the beginner or for novice in MUN, I think this is going to be your challenge for you to know about the MUN first, about the terms about the MUN. Yeah, I think that next slide, please. Okay, another challenge is about not confidence, especially in sharing your thoughts. So at first, basically, I was as well. So when the first time I joined MUN, so when I was giving my speech, so basically I know already, right? I made it like the script. However, when the first time when my turn is over, but when my turn is coming for me, I feel like everything is disappear. Everything is disappearing. So I think in order to overcome, in order to overcome about these challenges, this challenge, I think you have to join MUN a lot. By joining MUN a lot, then you will be able to increase your confidence. Then you will be able to speak like eloquently and frequently in English, and then you will be able to share your thoughts or your topic uh, properly. Next slide, please. Okay, another experience about Sai. I think it's kind of really normal to have these things, that because we are just only human being in here, and also I think Sai is going to be a challenge for you in order to come about that, and we will be talking later on. Next slide, please. Okay, how did I encounter? The first one is more practice. There's a term, more you practice, more you will be able to master about the specific things. So by joining MUN a lot, then you will be able to master, and also you will be able to understand about how the MUN exactly look like. And then more practice will be able to improve, especially in your English skills and so on and so forth. Next slide, please. The first one, be more confident. By joining MUN a lot, by joining MUN persistently, then you will be definitely gaining this confidence. I think by joining MUN a lot, then you will be able to speak like perhaps like the properly, and also you will be able to be more confident, because by joining MUN a lot, then I feel like this is going to be your habit. If we are doing our activity as we are habit, I think this is going to be a good time, and this is going to be a normal things that we do. So that's why then you will acquire a benefit here about self-confidence. Next slide, please. Okay, next slide. Okay, about join MUN a lot, I think this is going to be a considerable importance things as well. So in order to be able to become the best debater in the MUN, or the minor in the MUN, I think you have to join MUN a lot. By joining MUN a lot, then you will gain a lot of benefits in here, not only not limited I mentioned previously, but also another thing is that we think than bigger than we think. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, just doing what I love and loving what you do, what I do. In another words, just doing what you love and loving what you do. If you love about MUN, just doing about MUN. If you love about studying abroad, just do it that. And if you love studying and also learning about English, just loving those activities, and also just do your activities that you like the most. I think this is going to be my suggestion for you, especially in terms of learning the things that you like the most. Next slide, please. I think this is going to be the last slide. Okay. All right. I think that's all for my presentation for today. Thank you so much for your attentions. If you have any queries, just drop your queries on the chat box below. Then I think we will be answering later on. Right. All right. Thank you so much for the attentions, and I will be giving the floor back to the MC or the moderator. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you to Bro Ardian that already give us his experience and of course his knowledge. Yeah, we know that MUN has so many benefits. For instance, increase public speaking skills, self-confidence, brainstorming, and then connection, language skill, and so on. And we may conclude that the main point is practice, practice, and practice. It's okay if you have bad language, bad English skill, but don't give up. All right. I'd like to remind you, we have 3 speakers today, guys. So the first speaker is Bro Ardian, the second is Iris Kang, and the last is Jamaica Ribas. So for everyone who wanna ask a question, please just type in the chat box, okay? And then I'd like to remind you, as what MC said in the beginning of our webinar, so for the most active participants will get the door prize. And the requirement is you should turn on your camera and then active answering during the game session. And the last is giving question for the speakers today. And the speakers and the question, of course, will be chosen by the committee, and the question just the best question. Okay, guys. Okay, before we go to the next speaker, how about if we play a game? So we will play a game and Junia will help me to play the game. For Junia, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Junia Rahmawati. You can call me Junia. I will have Sari to lead this game. So, which one game that we will play today, Sari?
Okay, we will play a game, which is all of you should guess what the title of the song. So the operator will play a song, but this is not the real instrument of the song. This is just a Google voice of the lyric song. Okay, let us show you the example.
Grip on the sea and you're gonna live forever in me. I guarantee, it's your destiny. Grip on the sea and you're gonna live forever in me. I guarantee, it's your destiny. Grip on the sea and you're gonna live forever in me. I guarantee, it's your destiny.
All right, who knows what the title of the song? Okay, that's just an example. Okay, guys. Okay, you understand how to play the game? If you understand, let me start the game.
The first song is
Grip on the sea and you're gonna live forever.
And you're gonna live forever in me.
you know what the title, guys?
Yes, that's an example of our games. That's the title is You're Gonna Live Forever in Me. Okay, we jump to our game. And then the first song is
Nobody said it was easy, no one ever said it would be so hard. I'm going back to the start. Oh, ooh. Nobody said it was easy, no one ever said it would be so hard. I'm going back to the start. Oh, ooh.
Okay, do you know, guys, what the title of the song?
You can type in the chat box.
Yes, you can type in the chat box. No one knows what the title of the song? Okay, we found the winner. So the song is
Nobody said it was easy, no one ever said it.
Nobody said it was easy.
Okay, the title is Okay, the title is The Cyan by Coldplay. The winner for this, okay, the winner is Anissa Cahyani. Okay, congratulations for Anissa. Okay.
The next song.
Okay, the next song is
I won't forget the way you're kissing. The feelings so strong, we're lasting for so long. but I'm not the man your heart is missing, that's why you go. I won't forget the way you're kissing, the feelings so strong we're lasting for so long, but I'm not the man your heart is missing, that's why you go.
Do you know what the title, guys? Okay. The fastest and the correct one, that's the winner. Okay, guys? Okay, we found the winner. So the winner is Karina.
Congratulations,
Congratulations to winners today, Anissa Cahyani and
I won't
Karina.
forget the way you're
Okay,
kissing,
that's
the feelings so strong we're
Oh, don't forget to contact the person in the chat box. Okay, guys, because if you don't contact the person in the chat box, you will miss the prize.
Okay, that's all from me. Congratulations to winners. Thank you, guys. See you in next game.
Bye,
Bye.
Denia. Thank you. All right. I'd like to say congratulations to Anissa Cahyani and Karina for who doesn't want the game. Please don't give up. We still have another game. Okay. All right. We jump to the next speaker. Our next speaker is Iris Kang. So Iris Kang.
Nice to meet you.
All right. I will share the audience a little bit about yourself. And then Iris Kang is an 8th grade student at Korea International School Jeju. So as her name is the name of the flower, she has an aspiration to bloom positivity around the world. She has been involved in MUN platform as a delegate, chair, and secretariat. She's trying her best to lead conferences to success with her peers. MUN communities inspire her to realize the role of the leader, that a good leader is a person who motivates others to discover their best potential at every moment. So we have 4 achievements of Iris Kang. So the first achievement is as best delegate in Youth International Summit MUN, and then as outstanding delegate in Global Education City MUN 8, as head chair in Nexus MUN, and the last achievement is as chief of staff in Modern Youth International MUN. Okay, let's directly go to Iris Kang. Hello, Iris Kang.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Hi, is correct your name? I said your name Iris or Iris?
Yeah, it's correct. It's Iris.
Okay, Iris. Are you ready to share your experience and of course your knowledge with us?
Yeah, I'm ready. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Floor is yours.
Yep, are you sharing the screen? Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'll begin. So potential, cultivating yourself through MUN. So welcome to our second session. How are you all doing? I hope you all are having a wonderful day. So as we start, I have a question for you all participants. When did you first discover your potential in what kind of area? For example, I can answer by saying that I discovered my potential in volleyball when I was 15. So please type it in the chat and I'll be waiting for your responses. When did you discover your first potential in what kind of area? I'll be waiting for another minute, so please feel free to turn on your microphone and share your experience or type it in the chat. Yeah, public speaking can possibly work. I discovered my potential in agriculture when I was studying in my vocation high school, inspired by my lab assistant. Yeah, great. Like, it's so important to discover our potential in every moment of our life. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing your response. Public speaking, possibly, I think you're joining MUN or other public speaking clubs. I first find my potential in writing when I am at 11th grade, maybe. I love to read and write since I'm a child, and it became a hobby and become my potential too. Yeah, writing and reading, like, they're, I think you have a great skill because I'm still struggling. Like, I want to really write a good essay or a story, but yeah. Yes, I joined English club at high school back then. Yeah, sounds great. So just feel free to like leave in the chat and leave any questions as I go through the slides and we'll move on. So next slide, please. So in this session, we'll be like discovering 4 different parts. So first, I'll be introducing myself. And second, we'll be discovering what is really MUN and how to prepare for a conference. And next, I'll share my experience both on and offline conference. And lastly, we'll be remarking with the advice and tips. And like I prepared so much useful information, so please stay tuned. And next slide, please. Okay, so who am I? Okay, so my name is Iris, National School Jeju. I'm from South Korea, and I'm an experiencing, and passionate MUNer. I love listening to music, playing volleyball, and joining the play and theater. And I have a goal to like spread positivity around the community. And like I often think that people like think that positivity, spreading, community, like these words are so big that we need to really accomplish something big to spread positivity. However, like if we just say have a nice day or how are you doing to a person, like that person's like day will be like so much better. So I really recommend you to just like leave like thank you, or say like have a nice day to a person. And I have a kind of a motto that if you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more, by Oprah Winfrey. And it means that like we need to be very grateful for like what we already is having and the opportunity to join MUN. Yeah, next slide, please. So let's dig deep into MUN. So what is Model United Nations? Next slide, please. So basically, MUN is a simulator of United Nations where students represent countries or characters to discuss and debate upon global issues. So if we join MUN, our goal is to mainly attend a MUN conference, which usually lasts from 1 day to 3 days. So if you join a MUN conference, you basically do 5 different things. First, you deliver an opening speech, and in the opening speech, you deliver your country stance, how your country's issue connects with the agenda, yeah, these kind of things. And second, we raise a motion and also participate in a motion to discuss and debate upon different subtopics under the agenda. Then we usually form blocks and allies with other countries to draft a resolution. A resolution contains like list of solutions in a very formal format. And last but not least, the most enjoyable part is that we meet new people around the globe. Next slide, please. Yeah, thank you. So how to prepare for a MUN conference? So I strongly recommend you all to kind of screenshot this slide because it contains so much helpful information that you can possibly use when preparing for a conference. So go ahead and screenshot or take a picture. Okay, let's move on. So basically, we have three different parts when preparing for a MUN conference. First one is research. This is so much crucial. So we are researching the agenda. So for example, if the agenda of the committee is like achieving gender equality, we can think that isn't it just making the gender equal, but actually there can be a difference in what the chairs really want the delegates to discuss about. So it's really crucial to read the background guides and then have a basic understanding about what you're going to research about the agenda. Then you research about the committee or the council. So basically, like when drafting a resolution, you'll like specifically explain how is the solution going to be supported, where's the funding coming from, or those kind of specific things. So it's really important to research the power of the council. So what can your council do or can't do? It's extremely important. So yeah. And third, we researched the country stance, our country stance, and past UN resolutions. So I think like past UN resolutions are so much helpful because it can like basically like help you with brainstorming some possible solutions and also like gaining a knowledge about what kind of solutions were implemented before. Next, we have the past international actions that we have to like taken in our country. And then from research, we can have a basic understanding about what kind of solutions are we going to produce or share in the conference. Next, we have the position paper. So there are some list of requirements that you need to really insert in the position paper to like possibly get a best position paper award or just like produce a good paper. So we have the background information of the agenda in the first paragraph. So you can like basically explain what the agenda and how your country stance connects with the agenda. And you can just like provide a brief overview about the agenda, that your country stands, your problems. Next paragraph will be containing the country's past international actions. And what I mean by evaluation is that you're not really saying that, for example, USA has implemented this kind of solution. So I think, so this delegate or I think that this solution is effective or ineffective. I'm not meaning this kind of sentence, but you need to like kind of absorb it in the paper. So you need to say that, for example, USA has implemented this solution for this kind of period. And you're saying that this solution was effective or ineffective in this kind of area because blah, blah, blah. And basically in the conference, when you're debating, you can like point out, you can like use this evaluation to discuss with the delegates to produce the best possible solution. Next paragraph will be containing your country's policy regarding the agenda. And you need to really like distinguish between your country's international actions and your country's policy, because policy and actions are different. And in the last paragraph, you are coming up with your own solutions. I recommend you to write like one solution with a very deep analysis, or basically two. Yeah, I recommend you to write your own solutions. And I think like a lot of delegates are missing this point about explaining the solution. So it's really crucial. Like, don't just list the solutions, because yeah, we can't really understand how is the solution going to be implemented. So after you list the solution, you need to explain one by one, very critically and specifically. How are you going to like fund, like support the solution? Like, how is it going to be implemented? Like, during what period, during what country, or what council? Next, we have the research binder, and research binders are mostly like very helpful in offline conferences, but it is as well as in online conferences. So in this binder, you can like prepare your opening speech script, your position paper, and then this is really important. Sorry for like saying like really important so frequently, but like there are a lot of delegates who do not really prepare the moderated or unmoderated caucus topics, but I recommend you to like list some possible topics for moderated and unmoderated caucus, because if you're like trying to like show the best performance in the conference, it's really, really important that you're like raising a lot of motions. And to raise a motion, you need to like have a purpose to like for the delegates to discuss upon a specific topic. So please brainstorm these topics, and then you can also brainstorm some pros and cons of past or current actions or like solutions being implemented, because like based on like, for example, if there's a failed solution, you can like basically extend or improve on that solution to produce another good solution. And lastly, you can just have a list of solutions that you want to discuss with other delegates. Yeah. Hope it was helpful. And next slide, please. So now I'm going to basically share my experiences on both online and offline conferences. Yeah. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah, thank you. So, okay, so I'll share my first conference experience. As you all know, first conference always makes a person intimidated and really nervous. I was also not really now, but I was very, very extremely nervous before attending the first conference. It's the thing that most scared me a lot was the POI, the point of information. I was nervous if I could not really answer those questions properly and kind of like murmur. So, but there was a good system in my school that the experienced high school MUNers visit our middle school MUN club and basically give feedbacks after reviewing our position paper, our opening speeches, scripts. So that was like the most helpful like part in my school. So I needed a someone who can comfort me and say that it'll be okay, you'll do great. And that like those people were the high schoolers. So as you can look in the like as you can see in the slide, hello, I'm Iris, and I want to thank you so much for supporting me and revising my opening speech and position paper. Like this was the email that I drafted to the high schoolers. Lastly, I'm extremely nervous since this is my first experience. I don't want to be timid or lose my confidence, but can I ask you, how can I deal when the chair or other delegates ask me a question but I can't answer it? I really want to appreciate and thank you for your support, and I'll really work hard in tomorrow's conference. So basically, like after I sent this email, I got a reply from the high schoolers that you have no reason to feel like timid or unprepared because you did a lot of research. And like those single words really shaped me as a MUNer, because like I felt a lot of different emotions at the same time. At the moment, I can like still vividly remember how grateful I was, because they replied back my email by saying that, like, as I said before, no reason to feel unprepared. I did a lot of research. You will do an amazing job. And from this experience, and after my first conference, I kind of declared to myself that I'm going to become a person who positively influences others. Like this single reply email, like heavily influenced me as a MUNer, but as a person as well. One act of kindness, like one word, one sentence, can make a person like boost their confidence and feel like I can do everything right now because I'm amazing, I'm wonderful, and I'm a good person. So I still contact with the high school students, and because they have seen my growth in MUN, I feel so grateful for them. Next slide, please. So I think like my fourth conference is one of the most memorable conference because it was the offline conference, and it was my first crisis committee experience, as well as joining an offline conference during this COVID era. So this conference was the conference that I like conducted the most research because I was kind of competing against the high school students. So yeah, so now I like to talk more about the crisis. I think like it's good to share my experience as well, but also to share my knowledge about crisis committee and some tips that you can like possibly use in the future. So basically, crisis committee is where the delegates represent characters instead of the countries. So there's a story with what we call a crisis update. So the delegates debate and discuss the crisis updates, in other words, on an event that happens inside the story. For example, I was a board of member of AstraZeneca, the vaccine company, at this conference. So I was discussing with other board members when I heard a crisis update that a famous and popular pop star uploaded that he got the first AstraZeneca shot on Instagram. Yeah, it's really, really interesting. Then as board members, we can predict that the reputation of AstraZeneca has sharply increased in a short amount of time. And with this positive information, we make a decision for the next step. And it is a crisis because in the next crisis updates, something negative also happened. So we had to deal with it. So the most interesting part was that different characters have different strengths in major. So it was very, very impressive to collaborate with them to create something new and make decisions that directly affect the committee. So since crisis committees are focused more on improvisation, or we need to really deal with the crisis update quickly, I strongly recommend you to, if you're joining MUN for the first time, I recommend you to join a GA committee, not a crisis committee. And then if you experience 2 or 3 conferences, I recommend you to then challenge yourself by joining the crisis, because crisis committees are so much fun. We have a storyline, and it's the best, best conference that I've ever joined. So yeah, but I also like GA committee. So okay, so before moving on to sharing the next experience, are there any participants who would like to share their MUN experience or an experience that they tried a new thing? I'll be waiting for another minute, so please feel free to type in the chat. So you can share your MUN experience or any experience that you tried a new thing. I'll be waiting. Okay, so if you have any experience, just leave it in the chat and I'll read it out later because we have the limited time. So okay, next slide, please. Yay, thank you. So it's my 5th conference and it's the most memorable conference ever because this conference was the conference that I showed all the skills that I've gained throughout the previous conferences, from how to deliver an inspiring opening speech to how to help other delegates and the whole block with my leadership skills. So okay, so if I share the square inches of my 5th conference, in the moderator caucus, there were a lot of delegates who were discussing, criticizing each other's ideas, but it was totally fine because they were giving constructive criticism that actually increased the quality of the discussion and actually made it create another route for the delegates to debate upon another issue. So there was a heated debate. So I was kind of hesitated for a while, but I soon replied back to every single delegate's ideas, raised my hands actively, and recalled one of the delegates who didn't really have enough time to share their ideas. And I think this was seen as a part of my leadership skills, not only to the chairs, but I was oh, sorry, but can you please mute your microphone? Yeah, I'll continue. So I think this was like, I recalled one of the delegates who didn't really have enough time to share their stances and ideas. And I think this was seen as a part of my leadership skills, not only to the chairs, but to the delegates. So because more ideas contribute to the committee sessions, and if there's a delegate who like helps another delegate for some reason that they couldn't speak, it actually helps the chairs understand that delegate stance and the direction of the discussion. So this action can this can be possibly done in any like period, any time in the conference. So yeah. And another part I want to discuss is about being a leader in the block. So a lot of delegates actually exercise their power a lot. In other words, they dominate. They try to dominate and become the person who is speaking the most. But actually, a true leader, in my opinion, and is someone who is able to negotiate their ideas with the delegates and the rest of that block. So who understands the delegate stands, who is willing to help them clarify a point, build up an idea, or like listen carefully to their ideas is like the true one who is the leader. And I believe that the chairs will truly acknowledge that delegate as a leader, not only to the delegate who only shares their ideas and try to dominate the block. So next slide, please. So here are some advice and tips I want to give you when participating in future conferences. So for different parts, I have actually a lot of things to say, but I just prepared 4 things. So first, preparation. This preparing for a conference is the most important part. Don't be lazy. Don't if you really want to perform or show a good performance, it's really important to prepare your edit position papers, edit your opening speech scripts, and really prepare as you can possibly can. Because I was preparing inside the car when I was transporting to another city, and even I was using a small amount of time very in an effective way. So yeah, and when preparing, you can brainstorm possible caucus topics, as I said before, because that's so much helpful for you. And some for example, it can be a moderate caucus, 15 minutes, individual speaking time, 60 seconds, with a topic of evaluating the past international actions and building up improvements. So these kind of purposes can really increase the quality of the discussion and debates. Yeah. And also you can prepare for your arguments. There's some evidence that can support those arguments, because there will be probably be a heated debate. And next, mindset. So I'm going to show my everything. This is the mindset I strongly recommend you to keep in mind when you're participating in a conference. And even if you're a person who is kind of shy or kind of hesitant when participating in a heated debate, because there are a lot of delegates who say you're wrong, I am right, or those kind of things. So don't be timid, and if you're kind of shy, just think that these are the people who I'm going to who will be the last time I'm seeing that. So I'm who will be the last time I'm confronting them, because yeah, actually it's totally fine to give constructive criticism, and this can actually increase the quality of the conference. So it's totally fine. And don't really be obsessed with the awards, because actually awards really help you help your feeling to be awards make you happy and really be proud of your performance, and I strongly agree with this point. But if you only focus on the awards, it's actually the short-term consequences of the conference. So don't worry. And yeah, just aim for raising your hand frequently, speaking the most. It's okay to have a kind of a weak response or kind of a speech, but it's very meaningful that you're really trying something. We're really raising your hand to speak. So yeah. And then observe your growth. So observe you need to be aware of how many times did you speak, or how well did you do in this conference. Yeah, this can basically help you acknowledge some improvements you can make in the future conferences. And yeah, just analyze your strengths and weaknesses very carefully, and you can improve on that in future conferences. And it's important to appreciate the delegates, chairs, secretariats in the conference. Delegates have spent so much time preparing and being a part of a high quality debate, and chairs, they're just like so awesome because they prepare like the background guides, study guides, like if possible draft a script, or and the first secretariats, they like manage the whole conference to be very like smoothly. And for international MUNs, like secretariats are divided into numerous teams. Some of you will probably know, they work in different departments to make one conference to go to success and to move into success. So it's important to appreciate. Next slide, please. So what really matters? So a lot of people say that actually the awards don't matter, as I said before, and it is all about meeting new people. And I agree that it is about meeting new people, but I disagree with their saying that the awards don't matter. If we get awards, we feel very happy and proud of our process until we receive the award. It's not a bad thing to be like focused or happy with the awards because you deserve it. However, the points that I want to emphasize is that MUN is all about owning your process, owning your process. So from the first timers, the beginning, when we don't know everything about MUN, we start to learn, practice, and while we're growing, we get to meet new people. So it is kind of similar to life as well, because from a baby who doesn't know well about life or their surroundings, they grow, meet new people, and learn and practice. So we observe our growth and areas to improve on to make sure we can take our next step successfully. So are you ready to take your next step and start or continue your MUN journey? So let's go. Thank you for your attention, everyone. And if you have any questions or concerns, just feel free to leave on the chat and make sure to type like to Speaker Iris, because I can like maybe like easily acknowledge that message. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you, Iris, for sharing your knowledge and of course your experience with us. Yes, Iris have explained with us how to attend the MUN experience, how to attend the MUN conference, how to prepare for MUN conference, and Iris also give us some tips for MUN. And for everyone who wanna know more about MUN class, please join our MUN class. And for the registering will be shared by the committee in the last session. All right. Are you still excited, guys, to waiting on our last speakers today? Okay, before we go to our last speaker, how about if we play a game again? All right, Junia will help me to lead the game again. Okay, for Junia, please.
Okay, hello Sari.
Okay, hello Junia.
Can we start the game, Sari?
Okay, let's start the game. So how would we play the game?
Okay, we play game using the photo of the artist or singer. The operator will display some photos that have been partially censored, and you will guess who is their name. Who knows the answer? Please type in the chat box. The fastest and the correct one is a winner.
Okay, guys. So how we play the game is the operator will display a photo of someone, but that's not the full photo. That's just photo that have been censored. So you should guess who is that. Let me show you an example. Okay, for example, as you can see in the screen, so who knows who is that? Okay, I think all of you know who is that, right?
Very excited.
Okay, that's just an example. Okay, guys. Okay.
Are you ready, guys? Let's start the game.
Okay, let's start the game.
Photos first.
Okay, the first photo is All right. This is the
handsome boy.
okay. Do you know who is he?
You can.
For everyone who knows, please directly type in the chat box. Okay, guys?
Oh my God.
Okay, we found the winner.
Okay.
We found a winner. All right. So he is Jake and Hyman. Okay, that's correct, Lenny Sinaga.
Congratulations, Lenny.
Okay, we jump to the next photo. Okay, I think yeah, I think we don't need to share the clue, right? Okay, we found the winner. Okay, who's the winner? Karina. Okay, the winner is Karina.
Congratulations, Karina.
Okay, she is Emma Watson. That's correct. Okay, the last winner is next photo. Next photo, please. Okay, that's I think you know.
He is from Indonesia.
Okay. No one correct.
Correct one.
Okay, we found the winner. Who's the winner? Who's the fastest? Okay. It's okay if you write the short name. So who's it's okay. Okay. So the fastest is Alice. Okay, Alice.
Congratulations to Alice.
Okay, that's from us, guys.
Okay, that's for me.
That's what else? What else written? What else written? Deva. So, which one? Okay, that's there is miscommunication. Okay, the winner is Ashifa. Okay, congratulations to Ashifa. Okay, please, for the winner, don't forget to contact the person in the chat box so you don't miss the prize. Okay, thank you, Junior, for having me.
Okay, that's from me. I'm very happy because the participants have fun playing the game. Thank you for your participant. See you guys. Bye.
See you. Bye. Thank you, Junior. All right. Congratulations for the winner. And I'd like to remind you again, please contact the person in the chat box. Okay. Okay, we jump to our last speaker. Our last speaker is Jamaica Rivas. So Jamaica Rivas is from Philippines. She was one of the finalists in Ayala Young Leader Congress. She was also recognized by UPSAT 2020 as one of the top 100 accounting students in the Philippines. She also devoted herself towards continuous growth and improvement in other areas, such as she is not limited to organizational involvement, community service, and participation on international platform. And currently, she is a tax analyst at KPMG Philippines. Let's we directly say hello to Joms. Hello, Joms.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for the very warm recognition.
All right, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So good day, everyone. I hope you're all well. So as our host says, I am Jamaica, and it was nice to meet you all here. So before I proceed, I would like 70 participants in here, please type confidence if you would like to join MUN after this. So I'll be waiting like 1 minute. Like, please type confidence if you are willing to join MUN. Yeah, confidence like that. So I think everyone in here is willing to be an MU winner someday, right? So thank you so much. Okay. So first I would like to say thank you to Arjun for inviting me here and share my experience and hoping that it will inspire you all in some ways. And of course, to the organizing team and the secretariat, congratulations in advance. You did great, guys, for organizing this. So, well, before I became an MUNer, way back college, since I graduated last May 2021, I became a president at the student council in our university, and then to the regional level and became a regional vice president for academics. And there I was the one who conduct or organized quiz bee competitions in all universities in here in the Philippines. So yeah, I was quite a bit adventurous during my college. I was also an active MUNer. I started as a delegate, of course. Then I became a board of director, a board of that is actually. So well, I am always hungry to learn and improve all the time, because I always believe that your hunger gives you the motivation to take massive actions that are necessary to achieve success. So nowadays, the internet is woven into the fabric of our lives, right? So while there are many number of reasons why we may connect to the World Wide Web, how often do we use this vast resource specifically for inspiration and education? Well, it's easy to hop on social media like scroll, embarrassing your intellect and spirit. Fortunately, there are plenty of opportunities to do so and many challenges to face upon too. So in this time of pandemic, how can someone become hungry for knowledge? Next slide, please. All right. So my topic will be empowering students towards diversity. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned earlier about hunger, so this in this topic is cultivating your hunger for knowledge. So first is how you cultivate your hunger for knowledge is that read wide and frequently. Even you're at home or no one is checking on you, you should always read. Like expanding your knowledge is not about consuming more information. It is about adding value to your understanding. So enhance this understanding by continuously seeking out fresh and quality information that is relevant to you and will also motivate you to work beyond your comfort zone. So one way to accomplish this is by reading more challenging material that you can apply to your life. Many of us were just, okay, I'm done reading this. Like, okay, I've had enough, I'm done. But the question is, what did you learn? So it's very important that we should understand what we are reading and have takeaways or learnings. So why I am discussing this? Well, before I go to the MUN proper, I would like to discuss first to cultivate your hunger for knowledge. So next slide, please. Okay, so for the second one is seek out constructive criticism. It is also important to condition yourself to seek out criticism that is honest yet constructive. Learning is also about receiving objective feedback that you can use to identify your slip ups or blind spots. So keep your focus on using all sources available to improve your judgment and become a smarter and better person. Like in here, don't get mad if someone in your circle, like for example, Tanisha, your friend was like giving you feedback on your work. So if someone in your circle is giving you an objective feedback, instead take it positively and apply it for improvement in the future. So for the third one is teach other what you have learned. So gaining new knowledge and relating it to your life, it will only increase your chances of succeeding. It will also enable others to see their potential. Like me, before I enter MUN, I was a newbie in MUN. I was like asking Arjan, Iris, what to do, like what's the next to do. So your achievements will not go unnoticed, and those around you will begin seeking out your secret to success. So when this happen, point them to the materials that help you and impart their knowledge with open hands. Like think of those around you as potential allies, not competitors who want to take away your success and become the rising tide that lifts all boats. So when you aspire to become a lifelong learner, well, we are all inspiring to become a lifelong learner indeed, right? So be motivated to help both yourself and others to achieve success. There is what we call sharing is caring, if you are familiar with that. So having curiosity and thirst for knowledge will inevitably motivate also others. So be mindful of your purpose as you continue your journey. So read as much as you can, seek out constructive criticism, and inspire those around you. So, okay, since all of you here are students, next slide, please. Okay, what your grade really means. So most of us are grade conscious, right? Like I was the that I'm like grade conscious. Like okay, I'm just time to time I was just like checking what's the status of my grades and on some particular subjects. Well, some are not okay with that, but some are okay that okay, I'm good with it as long as it passed, and that's okay. Well, in this hyper competitive society, in which everyone is striving to achieve the best mark, always remember that grades aren't as indicative of success as it commonly thought. Like example for me, way back in college, my grades in taxation was just average. But look where I am now. I am an accountant. I'm a tax analyst. So what I'm saying is that grades does not define your intelligence or is not a measurement of our IQ. It also doesn't mean that your grades is fair or average is that, okay, maybe this is not for me. No, don't think like that. Remember that the first thing why we are here is because we have a goal. And to reach that goal is no matter what, or no matter what, you can do it. Like, so work for it. It may be hard, yes, to be honest, it is hard, but believe me, at the end of the road, you will just say, all my struggles are worth it. So, okay, next slide, please. Okay, so grit. Grit is the power of passion and perseverance. So grit is a combination of passion. When you are an MUNer, when you join an MUN, it is not enough that okay, I want to join MUN because I want to meet people, I want to know this specific person, I want to experience. No, you should have a passion and perseverance so you can stay strong. Like if you want to be an Emmy winner forever, go on. It's okay. So it was like enduring knowledge of what you want. This is you having the courage to continue and pursue and fight for your dreams. That is this is the hard work and resilience also the perseverance rather is the hard work and the resilience. It is not enough that you are brave also or you have the courage. You need to add always the hard work. It is about moving in a direction with consistency and endurance, like having a clear inner compass that guides you all your decisions and actions. Next slide, please. Okay, in joining MUN, the power of believing that you can improve is very important. So if you encounter failures and setbacks, that's okay. That's that was just part of a learning process and gives you the motivation and persistence to master new skills. I remember when I was in third year college, I was so busy back then. Then there is this one time, well, there is one time that I fall asleep during midterm exam. I don't know if one of you here was fall asleep during the exam, but yeah, to be honest, I fall asleep during my midterm exam. And then my professor is the one who wakes me up. Then I was very shook that time. Like my professor was like, "Okay, Miss Rivas, go to my office. You will be taking exam in there." I was like very sorry that I fall asleep in his class. Then he asked me, "Do you still can do it?" Well, I awkwardly smiled at time and then I said, "Yes, sir." But to be honest, I was like about to give up. But then I always believe in myself that I can do more, that I can improve. So good thing I have my friends also. So it is important that you have your friends always in you who always supported in you in all the way. And also is that I know my professor believed in me that I can do more, that I can do something about it. So he gave me chance to take that a special exam. So more importantly than believing in your abilities is the belief that you can improve upon your ability. Like there's something more in you that you can improve. So, okay, next slide, please. So, what can you try? So, practice not yet. Like next time you're facing a challenge or find yourself in the middle of failure, try to pause for a moment and notice that voice inside your head is saying, is it telling that you're not enough? Like now everyone will know that you're not as smart or capable as they once thought. If yes, show yourself some self-compassion and knowledge that you're still learning. Just like every other person on this planet, instead of I can't, I'm no good, or I failed, try telling yourself the story of not yet. So for the next one is reinterpret criticism. By seeing it as an opportunity to learn from the others, ask for some extra guidance or mentoring. If you see someone who is doing better than you, ask them for some tips and see if you can learn from them. For the third one is set growth mindset goals. Do one thing each day that stretches you outside your comfort zone, simply for the joy of learning. Do your very best effort. So to learn what unfolds and to be willing your own any failures or negative feedback. Celebrate always your courage. So your brain starts to associate growth mindsets action as rewarding rather than painful. So next slide, please. All right. Next slide. Sorry. Okay. So as you can see on the previous in the PPT in the previous slide, everyday leadership. Some of you now were thinking like, okay, maybe I'm not fit to be a leader. Like maybe I can do it. Again, leadership is not about an engagement in organization. It doesn't mean that you are an officer in an organization is that you are not fit to be a leader. We are all leaders. Remember that we are the leader of our own life. So first one is, so to all professors, so I know that all in here will be a future professionals. So it is important that we have these following traits: the adaptability, that you can quickly adapt to changing situations. Next one is the emotional intelligence. We should always manage our own emotions. Equally important, it is um, it is also important that we have the ability to recognize or understand and influence the emotion of others. So for the third one is the vision. Well, we professionals perform require day-to-day tasks while keeping an eye on the company's guiding vision. So it is very important that our vision is aligned to our company or to our organizations. So all right, next slide, please. So okay. So we have the participation. Well, that may sound overly simple, like, okay, I'm participating in this specific MUN. Like very simple, right? But in this day and age where everyone has more to do than time to do it. The simple act of being present and following through on commitments often distinguishes excellence from mediocrity, that we are willing to get our hands dirty. Well, not like dirty as dirty, and do whatever it takes to get the job done. Like we should pursue to get the job done. So for the fifth one is the coaching ability. So the talent to coach instead of simply telling others what to do is an essential trait of effective everyday leaders. So they tailor how they inspire and encourage others to the individual moods and personalities of those around them. So, all right, let's move forward. Next slide, please. All right. So that's it. Let's move forward to the MUN journey, to my MUN journey. Next slide, please. Okay. MUN, a catalyst for skills development. But first, I will leave you a code. Okay. Kindly click. Yeah, thank you. So if we are not ashamed to think it, we should not be ashamed to face it. By Marcus Tullius Cicero. So next slide, please. Okay. There are 5 ways students benefit from participating in Model United Nations. So first is public speaking. Students in Model United Nations find their voice and gain the ability to convey their ideas and persuade others through prepared and impromptu speeches. So for the second one is the social confidence. Well, in here, their social skills and confidence by working in teams to solve the world's biggest problems, like they are able to communicate more effectively than many of their peers. For the third one is the college admissions. Well, colleges are looking for students who have the leadership skills and global awareness, the exact qualities of Model United Nations students. So MUN Institute students gain admissions to colleges like Harvard, Yale, Georgetown, and many more. So college success, well, students in Model United Nations learn college level research and writing skills, like we have the position paper as mentioned earlier by the past speakers, and they when tackle complex issues in Model United Nations. So when they arrive at college, they are prepared to thrive and graduate with distinction. So for the last one is the career readiness. So Model United Nations ignites students' interests in world affairs and shows them the paths to careers in like law, diplomacy, business, and beyond. So, okay, next slide, please. All right, so let's discuss the world the globe to be worldly like the world itself. Reading and talking about many things with knowledge and enthusiasm is considered as worldly knowledge too. So I'll enumerate some ways to gain more knowledge. First one is be curious. Second one is by reading. Like number 3 is research, like research and research. It is important if you want to join MUN someday. For the fourth one is listening. And the fifth one, writing. Number 6 is teach others, as I've mentioned earlier too. Number 7 is practice, like the other, like what Arjun and Iris says earlier, like practice, practice, and practice. And for the last one is be thirsty and willing. So for the next one is, slide please. Okay, the confidence building. This is very important in joining ambulance and in our daily lives. Confidence will be your weapon to deliver the important points needed to be discussed during the caucuses. So here are some steps to better confidence. First is look at the facts and take credit for your accomplishments. Recognize your accomplishments is very important. Like write them down and whatever you want, and just own them. Own your accomplishments. It is not bad to take credit on something you take effort. Second one is emulate the behavior of people you feel are accomplished. The third one is you don't need to be perfect. In fact, making from that mistakes. So for the third one is next slide, please. Okay, we have the analytical skills. Well, as accountants, we always analyze before solving. Well, in here, analytical skills, we should always collect and analyze information and problem solve before making decisions. In MUN, it is important that you are analytical. It is very important to gather and consider choices. Because believe me, all MUNers in your specific council was like listening to you. Okay. Um, Next slide, please. All right. As I've mentioned in the analytical skills, I've mentioned in there is like, we have here the identify, define, explore, action, and look back. It was just a cycle. It was a cycle. So the aim of MUN or the Model United Nations to debate and find solution to pressing aims to address. It also lets students understand how the actual UN operates, while MUN surely helps build a strong university application, equally important. It can help an individual it can help you to grow your ability to solve and have positive skills you learn in here is this five that the very top colleges is attractive as that you are able to solve the problem. So for the next slide, please. Okay, this is very familiar to everyone. So since you will be still a diplomat, so all right, diplomacy. Um, Diplomacy is a vital element of Model United Nations. You will need to learn how to conduct yourself with diplomatic decorum, like behaving and speaking in ways designed to convey respect, like de-escalate conflict, like the escalate conflict and project a calm sense. Like everyone was just arguing. It is very important that you are everyone was just arguing. It is very important you are a calm sense of, but with confidence, of course, with confidence and dignity in your every interactions with others. So in this slide, you will learn how to address the committee and share, like how to conduct yourself during formal and informal sessions, and how to act during the conference. Well, being diplomatic is not only being polite. Well, being polite is very important, but it is about conducting yourself in a way that eases communications between people who may not get along. Even though Model United Nation is a simulation, presenting countries have feelings. We all have feelings, of course, and may have a personal connection to the topic of discussion and may be hurt by things you say or do. So comport yourself with grace. Yeah, like always talk with grace, aplomb, and care. When speaking in your committee or writing resolutions, well, you must use formal diplomatic language. Yeah, we use formal diplomatic language in here. Like first is avoid stereotyping, like other states or people, and use caution when using broad categories like poor countries. Please avoid using that. So for the second one is know the difference between a state and a nation. Well, a state is a self-governing political entity with a permanent population, a defined territory, a government, and the capacity to enter into relations with other sovereign states. So next one is know the difference between global and international. Well, global refers to the whole world, like worldwide, like the entire nation, the entire Earth as a planet. Like international refers to the institutions and relations between two or more nations or states. So for the next one is avoid slang and acronyms. So in formal speeches, don't say the UK, the USA, or the UN, or the EU. Use the full name, like example, the United States of America, like that. So also avoid personifying states, like okay, avoid personifying states, like avoid using language that would suggest states have emotions, bodies, and human qualities. Like there are institutions made up of people, not people themselves. So for the next one is always treat the topics of discussion with the respect they deserve. Think twice before cracking jokes about committee topics as they often dealing with grave matters like poverty, war, and disease. Also be tasteful. You never know you never know who may be in your committee and might be personally affected by your topic and discussions. Remember that we have different cultures, so please always treat the topics of discussion with the respect. For the next one is in diplomacy is use the language that creates a safe space. You should not harass or intimidate anyone, nor you should accept harassment or any kind from everyone. No. If you feel uncomfortable, please let a head delegate know so that they can act working with you because your ideas do not align. Be nice to so for working papers and resolutions, do not cut clauses or remove people from the sponsors list without their permission. Okay, be classy. Don't badmouth other delegates or gossip about them behind their back. If another delegate is not allowing their country's policy, do not confront them about this. Rather, is speak to one of your head delegates or the corrects you and act in calm. Like what we always say that it is very important that you have research, that you need to research and research. So for the next one is never be the bully, nor do you have to accept the bullying. So do not boss around like, okay, do this, like, okay, this is what we should do. No, do not boss around other delegates and manipulate them to do work for you. Other delegates are not your employees, remember? For that matter, we also do not tolerate anyone being bullied by fanatic to you. Please let one of the head of the co-chair, and the rapporteur. So for the last one in diplomacy is build consensus. Make an effort to exchange ideas and respect the ideas of others when working on working papers and resolutions. So I hope like you learn here in the diplomacy thing. Yeah, I know it's very long. Okay, for the next one, please bear with me, guys. Okay. For the next one is the public speaking. All right. So public speaking allows us to form connections, influence decisions, and motivate change. Like me, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, before I became a president in our university, I was very afraid to. I was so afraid to face everyone in the university. But then, yeah, the confidence is very important. So writing and delivering speeches is an important aspect of the MUN simulation. Speeches help delegates convey the positions of their member states, help build consensus, as I mentioned earlier, and in there, you start formulating resolutions. Usually the committee sets the speaking time, well, like, okay, 20 minutes, the speaking time like that. So the committee sets the speaking time as the delegates make a motion to set the duration if the motion has been seconded. The body then the votes upon the suggestion, like, yeah, it has a many process. Although speech making is very important to the MUN simulation, many delegates' biggest fear is public speaking. So it is essential that the delegates come to the conference well prepared, meaning that they have completed prior reach, know their country's position, and even have the objectives for a resolution. A good opening speech should be, well, okay, well, of course, you should have a brief introduction of your country's history of the topic. Like the second one is the current situation of the topic, your country's overall position on the topic, and then your country's position within the bloc or the major powers, and so on. And the past actions taken by the United Nations, the member states, etc., to combat the problem, it is very important too. So the possible ideas or objectives for a resolution is important in delivering your speech. So the role of the NGOs in debating the issue, if applicable, and whether there is room for the negotiation. So in public speaking, there are no set guidelines for how delegates should execute their speeches actually. Delegates should decide how they feel most comfortable delivering their your speeches. Some delegates utilize their position papers as their opening speeches. Others just write out some key points, and many just speak without any sides. Like, okay, they're just speaking freely. Since public speaking is a skill, it is important to practice, practice, practice. Yeah, what we are advising everyone is practice, practice, practice. Okay, for the next one is the networking. Okay, networking. So you will build new connections with all delegates, organizers, co-sponsors, speakers, and chairs. In other words, you have the opportunity to get new insights from the experts, especially in terms of creating your career development plan. So for the let's proceed to the next one. Well, I know all of you here are hungry. So okay, next one is the writing skills. We have the position paper, right? So okay. Next slide, please. The writing skills. Okay. And the writing skills, resolution writing is also important to the success of the delegation. Although students may be very active in debate, if their ideas are not somehow brought into a resolution, then their ideas are not brought into action. So MUN chairs and co-chairs will note which delegates were sponsors and co-sponsors of resolutions and amendments, particularly, I'm sorry, okay, sorry, am I audible again?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so as sponsors and cost especially noted. So position, oh, okay. For the next one is leadership skills. I think, okay, leadership skills. Being successful in a model United Nations church or a well-written position paper, a delegate must also as a leader. Conference can make you one of the, well, who might knows, like, you will be the best delegates or the most outstanding delegates and so on in the room. So here are some tips or ways that you can always say, as we always say, this will give other delegates and the chair the delegate. But who would trust a delegate that are not confident on what they are saying, right? So you should always be confident on what you are talking about. So, and okay, let's proceed to the step number 2. So communicate. Becoming a leader in a conference isn't easy and requires that you have an open line of communication with other delegates. So when you first enter the committee room or waiting for open ceremonies, like you have time to talk in there. So start talking or start like communicate with other delegates from same committees or different committees. It is okay. Like you can discuss your ideas from the committee, but try to be personable and not too formal since the committee has not officially started. So, okay, for the third one in the leadership skills is be respectful. So in Model United Nation, there are two types of leaders, a productive leader and a power delegate. Well, a power delegate's main goal is to win. Remember that. A power delegate main goal is to win, not to be collaborative and share their ideas. And the other one, the productive leader, learns to get their ideas, but in a respectful manner and is willing to compromise. They are open to suggestions from all delegates and learn to find the middle ground where everyone can contribute to debate. A productive leader might also want to win an award, but the actions they take in the committee aren't solely for the benefit of, like, just for yourself or just for myself, but rather for the whole block itself. So being respectful is crucial in order to not only maintain good relations with the other delegates, but it is also prompts others to respect you as well. Okay, sorry guys. That is the end of the leadership skills. So we had the last one. Okay, this is the last one, the college applications. All right, college applications. Well, MUN can be a great extracurricular to get involved in because it includes a lot of hands-on, like relevant work, and can be a strong addition to college applications. Well, joining MUN as a freshman could easily pay off a few years down the road when it comes to applying for college. Writing skills, extracurricular activities, and face-to-face or online interviews now are critical when it comes to college admissions, and applicants can find themselves struggling to piece those skills together and present themselves as well-rounded students, right? So luckily, Model United Nation can help students develop their writing and speaking abilities, giving those delegates an advantage when they apply. Like understanding social dynamics and crisis strategy helps prepare for interviews and college essays. And in addition, the resolution writing modules help to create concise and organized format for answering any questions on applications. While good grades and impressive test scores are certainly helpful in college applications, but colleges also want to see students take initiatives beyond the classroom, beyond your comfort zone, through the extracurricular activities. So whether they are sports, clubs, or community service, it's always good idea to stay involved with extracurricular. The same goes for the Model United Nation. So on top of the practical skills of writing and speaking, MUN also allows students to achieve awards and leadership positions, as I mentioned earlier, that can help on your applications to stand out because sometimes it doesn't hurt to brag, guys. So yeah, you just put all your extracurriculars in there. So that's it. Well, before I end this, I will leave you a quote that the biggest asset in the world is your mindset. So yeah, thank you everyone. So that's it.
All right, thank you, Jones, for sharing your knowledge and your experience. That's the good quote. The biggest asset is in the world is your mindset. All right, let's jump Q&A session. So I will read the question that based on what you guys have typed in the chat box. Okay, the first question is for Bro Ardian. The question Awaluddin. Hello, sir. I am Awaluddin from an open university. I want to ask, the way we fight insecurity about the environment and we feel because it increases confidence. When people at our age are already successful in pursuing career and have a set while we don't have anything. And if parents demand to get high marks from the test result, how do we do that? Overcome that pressure during a pandemic facing a mental crisis. All right. Bro Adian.
Well. All right. Thank you for the recognition, and also thank you for the question. So basically, I think I have an answer in here. So basically, it's a simple answer. So the answer is don't compare yourself with others. Just compare yourself then your self worth. Like I mean, like under the current state of affairs, since the coronavirus struck in our world, and also since then, every single thing in our world, every single sectors in our world was swiftly changing into the something that we have never faced before. For example, like in education, like that. So in education, we never do like the online classes and so on and so forth until after the coronavirus attack in our world, and also every single things I mentioned previously was changing dramatically and into the something that we have never faced before. In order to answer about these things, that yes, don't compare yourself with others. Instead, you should have compared yourself with yourself before the current era. I mean, like that. So if we're talking about mental health that you mentioned previously in your question, I think this is going to be a common problem, especially after the current virus arrived in our world, right? So mental health is also one of the problems that is being currently discussed massively and persistently in our world. So in order to surmount or overcome that problem, the first one, I think you have to have a good mind and also growth mind and also open mind your brain like that. If you do those things, I think that every single problem like the negativity or even the negative deeds that you received from others, I think it's going to be disappearing persistently and suddenly. And then my suggestion, another suggestion of myself would be, I think you have to know about the value of yourself. By getting to know and ascertaining about your value about yourself, then for sure you will get to know about what exactly you are, who is you are exactly. Then after knowing about the value of yourself, then you have to know about something that inside behind yourself, like that. By diagnosing and also getting to know about yourself deeply and immersively, I think this is going to be the answer uh, for getting the answer about yourself, about the mental health and so on and so forth. I think this is going to be a common problem when the parents in our world, I think not only you but also I am. However, since I think my parents are sufficiently open-minded as well. So they never compare myself with other people or other students or even my neck board in here. So that's why every single thing that I do, then they will fully support me every single decision I made. So that's why I think this is going to be one of the answers that you have to know. Then also I think you have to answer. I think you have to ask the question to your parents. Then I think you have to reveal or can convey something kind of like that about what is the exact things that you love the most, instead of uh, doing the suggestion which was given by your parents. Because by doing, as I mentioned previously in the very beginning of my presentation, not the very beginning, but it's going to be like my last slide would be doing what you love and loving what you do. If you are not doing what you love, I think the result will not follow the expected result that you would like to achieve like later on. So the next one, I think you have to take care of your body. By taking care of your body, I think this is going to be a good one to control and manage yourself in order to surmount that mental health. Yes, I think since the coronavirus being surrounded in our world, we know that we are bored. We are getting bored. We are getting like I think we are so bored at home, right? So the next one, I think you have to getting started yourself to surround yourself by negative positive people. Like I think my suggestion would be I highly recommend and also I highly encourage you to join MUN. I for sure. And then you will be meeting with all of the foreign people in here that for sure they will have good mindset and it's a growth mindset. So that's why I am like here currently. And the next one, I think you have to learn about like deal with the problem you have. So everyone has its own problem. Everyone has its own way to answer that problems and also overcome that problem. So that's why by implementing those things I mentioned previously, I think this is going to be answer for you, especially in terms of your action that was done by your parents about compare yourself with others. I know that, for example, if you are living like, for example, if you're living in a Jack Ma house, I think, and then you are becoming a Jack Ma's house, neck bore, I mean, and then for sure, if your parents will conduct like that, I think this is gonna be a crazy one. Like, so my suggestion is, yeah, don't compare yourself with others. Just loving what you love, that just doing what you love and loving what you do. I think it's all. Uh, I hope it's understandable. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Bradian. I think all right. Thank you to Bradian for the answer the question. I think that already answer the question of our team. And then we jump to the next question for Iris Kang. And the question is, what is your advice for the very beginner delegates in MUN to learn the MUN is, how to build your argument correctly and all the stuff. And for Iris, time is yours.
Yep, thank you so much for the question. So I think it's totally an awesome question. So I have some advice. So for the beginner delegates, just for now, please remove all the concerns that you have inside your mind right now, because it's not really a big problem that makes you feel intimidated and concerned. Like, it is great that you are nervous and concerned because it means that you are desperate and you have a will to demonstrate your wonderful performance in front of the delegates and chairs at the conference. Also, if you feel kind of shy in front of the delegates, actually they are in the same Actually, they are in the same situation as you are. They research world papers and they are nervous as you are. So don't worry, you'll be fine. And the earth does not collapse, and this is just a small part of your life and in the process of becoming a person who positively impacts others. And I remember that there was another question asking about the public speaking. So to overcome the fear of judgment and self-assessments from people. So basically, you are asking this question because you're concerned if they will think like your speech is not really that impactful or like influential or is bad. But think about like how precious and important that person is in your life. We are living with a lot of people on this earth, and we'll be living a lot of years in our life. Then is that person that important to you, like that precious to you, that they are making you feel gloomy when you even have a limited time to love yourself and care for yourself? So think about this, and you need to know that you're an amazing person who is seeking opportunities to stand up for people and to deliver a speech. That is totally amazing, and don't worry, you'll do an awesome job. And if you're not satisfied with your performance and you're nervous, just think that you have a lot of opportunities in the future, a lot of moments to live. Life changes a lot, and focus on the fact that you are trying something really hard. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you, Iris. And the next question from Jamila Rusdi. Jamila Rusdi from Cokro Aminoto University, Indonesia. So the question, there are 3 questions. The first question is, how do we see the opportunity to become a public speaker in the current situation? And the next question is, how to overcome the fear of self-assessment and judgments from people different when we do public speaking. And the last question is how to build confidence when speaking in public and self-confidence to express our opinion or idea. So for Jumps, time is yours.
So actually, I think I answered this question because like I remembered that there was a question related to public speaking, but I want to add on the first question, how do we see the opportunity to become a public speaker in the current situation? So I think I did not answer this question and I answered the last two questions, so I'll add up. So like so that means that you're trying to become a person, like trying to like seek for opportunities to become a public speaker in this in like workshops, webinar, or even in offline. So I think that it's really important to build credibility, like the credibility as your speaker, what experiences you have gone through, like the audience, like so if there's no credibility that is being like demonstrated, like anyone can be the speaker, so anyone can like speak in front of people and just anyone. But if we consider credibility, how credible is that speaker, how many experiences did the speaker like have gone through, or some like it can be possible for like awards or how many like prizes like they've like or their achievements. So actually I think it's more like you need to like really focus on building your credibility as a speaker, then also joining a lot of MUN conferences. And actually if you're really willing to like stand up like this webinar as our speakers like Joms and Ardian and me, like I think it's important to like join in a lot of MUN platforms, build relationships with people so they can like invite you to the webinar to speak about, for example, MUN experiences. So I think it's important to build credibility. Like you need to have a like a big backup or a reason that you're speaking in front of a lot of people, just like this webinar. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Iris. And the last question, I think this is the last question to Jones. So the question is, how do we handle when we face more than two different opinions? Suppose if I assume 1 + 1 is equal to, while others think 1 + 1 is equal to 3, and others assume 24, 78, 45, and etc. That's what makes me sometimes confused and always change my point of view on a problem.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Well, if this is a normal like tax something, or I'm at work, well, I would basically like get my calcu and then okay, what is 1 + 1 = 2? Okay, I just well okay, we'll justify your answer. Okay, but so to the main point, how do we handle when we face more than two different opinions? So well students who are blind or visually impaired have a number of people on their team, right? So like including like let's say your parents or your teachers, the counselors, and other professionals, or with your cultivators or co-MUNers. So we professionals, different professionals use different assessments, of course, and sometimes the findings can be very different. So that's why you're saying that you it makes you sometimes confused and always change my point of view on a problem. It doesn't necessarily that you need to change your point of view if you think that it is correct, right? Actually, like since you have your point of view, well, as I've mentioned earlier, that it's always have to like listen to everyone or like assess. So like it is very important to assess too before agreeing to someone's point of view. So some may have a limited viewpoint, of course, but or some have a biased expectations based on the assessment or a diagnosis on a problem. So while resolving such differences in opinion might be, yeah, it's very stressful for the parties involved. Like it also represents an opportunity to further discuss the needs or the that problem. So I'll give you some strategies to help you resolve the differences of opinion regarding the visual abilities and needs of a visually impaired individual. So of course, before you change your point of view, always find a common ground. Like in a discussion about a discussion about a difference of opinion should always begin with the finding common ground to each party. Like for example, wanting the best education for the student is something everyone can agree on, right? So if each party agrees that this is the intended goal, so it is important that you have your goal, right? So getting everyone to work together on behalf of the student is a good way to encourage a positive problem solving. So it is very important that you should always find a common ground for that. So next one is create a positive environment. Well, of course, we can say that, right? Some of them are taking it negatively, like because it is not aligned to your goal. So honest and respectful communication is the key to resolving differences of your opinions. So remarks that do not contribute to the positive progress of the conversation should be avoided. So avoid negative remarks is especially important during the meeting. So we should always create a positive environment during the discussion, even though you have a different view on even though you have different opinions. So for the next one is support opinions with an objective data. Well, of course, we don't just agree with someone. You don't just agree with me without having an objective data, right? So it is important that we should always have a support opinions with an objective data. So statements about the student showcases the different of opinion may be supported by examples on the other side. So for example, a student may demonstrate different behavior at home and at school. So although both viewpoints may be entirely accurate, people may try to discount one viewpoint over the other. So however, it is important to learn from the different points of view because each individual might learn something new about the student. So that is why the constructive criticism, yeah, the constructive criticism will enter. So last is maybe discuss the timelines or discuss what's your point, right? So if different strategies are recommended by different parties, it may be helpful, of course, to establish a time period during which one is strategy is used at the time. Maybe that two opinions is both beneficial to the organization. Then you can create a timeline, like discuss a timeline, like maybe okay, we'll use this first, and then if it is not amenable, we should use the second one. Maybe it is good, like that. So the progress should be noted so that the strategy can be evaluated and adjusted accordingly. So it is important like you discuss the timeline, like you discuss the timeline idea, like create a positive environment. Don't create a chaotic discussion. That's very rude for the diplomats. And as I've say earlier, that always find a common ground. So that's it to answer that question. Thank you for that wonderful question, by the way.
All right, thank you, Bradian, Ariskang, and Jones for the answer. And because our speakers have answered the best question, the sign that Q&A session is up. And we jump to the next agenda is giving the certificate and the evaluation. And I'd like to tell that as what MC said in the beginning of our webinar, so the most active participant will get prize. So the most active participants goes to Alice from University of Riau. So congratulations to Alice. Don't forget to contact the person in the chat box if you don't want miss it, the prize. All right, the first certificate for Bro Ardian. Please, for everyone, turn on your camera because we will having photo session. All right. I'll be count by 1, 2, 3. Okay, next certificate for Iris Kang. Okay, I'll be count 1, 2, 3. And the last certificate is for jumps. I'll be count by 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you so much for our amazing speakers today that already share their knowledge and experience with us. And then for everyone who doesn't get the answer yet, so but want to know more about MUN, please directly join MUN class by Economic Faculty English Club that provided by University of Riau, and the register link will be shared by the committee next. All right, that's all from me. I will give it back to the MC. Thank you and see ya, guys.
Okay, now back to me. Thank you for our wonderful moderator, and thank you for our wonderful speakers today and everyone that has attended this webinar. And now I would love to tell you that we actually have an MUN class that is led by our amazing speakers today, and you can actually register it right away in the chat box. And the only requirements are that you have to be an active student in Riau University on the batch 2018 and up. So if you are not an active student from the year 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021, I have to apologize that you cannot answer this. And with that, I hope for you that are interested, you can join us. And now I can officially wrap up our event. And once more, thank you for the speakers, and thank you everyone for joining us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Oh yeah, one more thing, don't forget to fill up your attendance in the chat box, okay? Thank you, everyone. Okay, thank you guys for attending today, and you may leave the Zoom now. Thank you.